The women took the spices they had prepared and went to the tomb. They found the stone rolled away, but when they entered, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. Suddenly, two men in clothes that gleamed like lightning stood beside them and said, "Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here. He has risen." Why do you seek the living among the dead? A question that cuts right to the heart. That day, the women found an empty tomb that once held a crucified Christ. So the angels asked them this very profound question. Why do you seek the living among the dead? That same question echoes in our hearts today. Why do we seek life in things that lead to death? Why do we look for a savior in all the wrong places? We want to live life to the fullest, but we chase the things that ultimately kill us. Why do we search for fulfillment in emptiness? Why do we seek the living among the dead? But that same question contains a sense of celebration. The ultimate sacrifice of Jesus was successful. Death couldn't stop him, hell couldn't hold him, and sin couldn't beat him. Jesus died so that we could live. He took our place, accepting the death that we deserve so that we could live with him forever. Because of his sacrifice, our lives don't end with death. And now we can celebrate. Not because he was crucified, but because he rose. Not because he died, but because he lives. And when we gather together in his name, he is with us. Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not there. He is here.
Amen. Amen. Why do you seek the living among the dead? A question that, as he said in that video, that cuts right to the heart of what Easter is all about. These ladies had gone there and they were expecting to, as we talked about in our sunrise service, they were expecting to find a dead Jesus, to finish preparing the body for burial and to take care of the needs. But they're approached by the angels and they are asking the lady, why do you seek the living among the dead? I don't know how many of you have seen the movie God's Not Dead, where the professor of this college was an atheist and he didn't believe in Jesus Christ. He didn't believe in God or in the resurrection Jesus. I mean, for the atheist today, there is no back door out of the grave. There's no way you're going to make a decision after you get in that coffin. You've got to make your decision today. Once you die, you're dead, and that's the way you're going to stay. And an atheist doesn't go looking for the living among the dead, because the atheist, death is final. In our text from this video this morning, the angels of the tomb asked the women, why do you seek the living among the dead? Why would the angels ask these ladies such a question? Well, they asked the question because these women had not come looking for a living Jesus. They had come to this cemetery to seek the dead among the dead. When you and I go to a cemetery, we're going there to lay flyers or to visit the grave of the person who has died. Generally speaking, that's what we go there for. Most of the time, people go to the cemeteries to seek the dead, to seek after those who dead. who are dead. Luke verses 1 through 3 on chapter 24, it says, on the first day of the week, early in the morning, the women took the spices they had prepared and went to the tomb. They found the stone rolled away from the tomb, but when they entered, they did not find the body of our Lord Jesus Christ. We read that scripture this morning. These women have come to Jesus' grave because they supposed that he was dead. And when Jesus died on the cross, they hadn't had sufficient enough time for the burial process, and so because of the Sabbath, and so here they are early in the morning. They're going to prepare the body, to finish preparing the body for the grave. And so they bring the spices that they need to do such a thing for those who have died. You see, my friend, these women thought Jesus was dead, and they were simply trying to make sure that his corpse received the respect that it was due. You see, these women weren't looking for the living. They were looking for the dead. And without realizing there had been a resurrection, the dead is what they expected to find. Now, what some atheists do understand is that without Jesus, you can't find the living among the dead, because we live in a dying world. Everything around us is dying. The plants, the trees, everything. And we're born to die. And we're dying day by day. And without Jesus, my friend, all this world can offer us is a 6-foot hole in the ground. There is no fountain of youth. There is no scientist that might be able to prolong life, because death is going to happen to each and every one of us. And plastic surgeons, they can do all the repair that you want them to do, and we can think we've cheated death, but my friend, we haven't. Death is something that is going to happen. In fact, there's those who have said in the past, in fact, April 15th has just passed, and there's 2 things guaranteed in life: that you're going to pay taxes and you're going to die. Death is certain to happen, friend. Everybody you know, listen to me. This is profound. I've studied all my life to learn this thing. But everybody that you know is going to die. As one person observed, we have to go through that process in life in order to understand. I mean, think about this. When do we think about death? At a funeral, usually. I mean, there's not too many of us that go throughout the week and think a lot about dying. But it's an emptiness. It's an end to all existence in the mind of the atheist. That's how they think. And without Jesus, my friend, it's nothingness is what they think. They think it's oblivious, that it's void of anything after death. The atheists have it wrong, because there is no hope for a future, because without Jesus' resurrection, there is no life after this. There's only eternal damnation, of suffering and pain. And for centuries, there has been philosophers and skeptics that have preached that kind of hopelessness, that there is nothing after death. There were even some in the early church who began to believe this. And so Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 32, he says, "If I fought with wild beasts in Ephesus with no more than human hopes, what have I gained? If the dead are not raised, if the dead is not raised, let us eat, drink, and for tomorrow we die." Let's go ahead and throw the party. If it wasn't for the resurrection of Jesus Christ, that's about all you would get in this world. But when Paul wrote this, he says in verse 20 that, but Christ has indeed been raised from... Do you believe that this morning?
Amen.
He is risen. He is risen indeed. He is no longer in the grave, my friend. And we need to get excited about that. We don't not to work it up inside of ourselves, but to understand what God did for you and me. He raised his son, the supreme sacrifice for sin. And he's no longer in the grave. He done so that the first fruits of those who have fallen asleep. Jesus is the first one who is ever and will ever be able to raise like that and save us from our sins. There was nothing else before him that could do it, and nothing that will work in his place afterward. He was the only one that could be sacrificed and raised from the dead and be given the ability to forgive mankind of their sins. And then there are those that are seeking the living among the dead. As the video had mentioned, there are some people that are misled by, and they are told that they can find life among things that can only bring death. Not Jesus, but things of this world, things they're told that can satisfy the loneliness, things that they're told that can satisfy the empty, the void that is in every human heart. We're born with a void, and the only thing that will ever satisfy that is the Lord Jesus Christ filling that void in our lives. We try to satisfy it with drugs and alcohol and all these things that the world has for us to build pleasures and even spending and lust and things of this nature, the pleasures of the world. But my friend, I'm here to tell you this morning, it cannot be, you can't find the living among those dead things. They're going to bring you death. They're seeking the living among the things that can only bring them death. And these things that bring, or the things that Christ came to take away of the people in the world, in our lives today, these are the things they're seeking after. But Jesus says, I come to set you free. And if you're free in him, you are free indeed. Randy, you mentioned this morning in your Sunday school lesson about not having those addictions and stuff. Praise God, he was able to keep you from those things throughout your life. I remember Reverend Bess, he had talked about this in a testimony down at camp one time. He says, you know, a lot of people stand up and give a testimony about how God delivered them from pornography or from alcohol or drugs or whatever it might be. And he said, but God never took me there. He protected me. He gave me this grace throughout my whole life. I didn't have to deal with those things. But the same grace that saved me, he said, is the same grace that'll bring you out of those dark places. He says in verse 6 of John chapter 14, I'm the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me. Jesus, my friend, is the way that we need to seek life, not in things of this world. In John chapter 10, verse 7 through 10, he also said this, most assuredly I say to you, I am the door of the sheep, and all who come after or have come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved and will go in and out and find pasture. In verse 10, he says, the thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. I've come that you may have life and that they may have it more abundantly. My friend, Jesus Christ came to give us life now. He came to give us, we need to seek the life that Jesus Christ has given us, not try to find life in the things of this world. The enemy wants to destroy each and every one of us. He wants to lie just like he did Adam and Eve in the garden and bring destruction in our lives. It reminds me of a little story that was told of a family that was watching the movie on TV one night called The Greatest Story Ever Told. All through the movie, one of the children was completely enthralled what she saw. Toward the end, as Jesus struggled under the weight of the cross, tears were rolling down her cheeks. She was absolutely silent until Jesus had been taken down from the cross and laid in the tomb. Then she turned to her parents, smiled, and said, "Now comes the good part."
Amen.
Now comes the good part. The resurrection of Jesus Christ, my friend, is the good part of the Easter story.
Amen.
Good Friday. Why do you call it good, church? Well, because we know what happens on Sunday.
Amen. Amen.
We know that what Jesus endured on Friday, the pain, the suffering, the shame, we need to feel good about because he took our place. And we don't have to go through that. He loved us enough to take on the weight of the sins of the world. It's a good part of the story because it's in the resurrection of Jesus that we find our faith and that we have our faith. It is in the resurrection that we have our hope. We don't need to be hopeless. It is in the resurrection that we have the promise of forgiveness and of a new life. In Romans 6:4, it says that we were therefore buried with him through baptism into death, in order that just as Christ was raised from the dead through the glory of the Father, we too may live a new life. God incorporated the resurrection into the very act that he had designed for us to accept our salvation. It is in the resurrection of Jesus Christ that you and I, that we are who we are. And it is because of the resurrection of Christ that we have so much to offer the world around us. We can give them the hope. We can share with them what the cross means and what it has done to change our lives. My friend, let me tell you one thing for sure this morning. No other religion offers this kind of hope. No other religion offers this kind of hope. You can stop by the grave of Muhammad. Guess what? He's there. His remains are there. You can visit the grave of Confucius. Guess what? His remains are there. And you can visit the grave of Buddha. And my friend, you'll find his remains there as well. No matter what world religion you might think of their founders, they're all living in tombs, gathering dust. But if you stop by,
Amen. Amen.
if you stop by the tomb where Jesus was buried, he's not there. He is here. He is risen. So I tell me something. Do you seek the living among the dead? It's told of a funeral that a pastor performed for a biker. His name was Doug. Doug was an 18-year-old biker who rode with the rough crowd. The t-shirt they buried him in said it all. Ride hard, die hard. At the funeral, the funeral home was filled with bikers. Speakers boomed out hard rock music prior to the sermon. The casket held items felt important to Doug. A bottle of Jack Daniels and an abundance of drug paraphernalia. The viewing after the sermon, listen, the viewing after the sermon lasted 2.5 hours. The mourners filled the room with their crying and sadness, several literally half lifting the body out of the casket, hugging their dead friend. These bikers couldn't get over the fact that Doug was dead and that he was never coming back. My friend, for everyone that I know that dies, in fact, I won't say who, but we were talking this morning, we don't know what a loved one's dying breath is being said. So I have the hope that no matter who they are and what their lives might have been like, that if someone has gotten through to them in one way or another in their dying moment, they could have said, Jesus, forgive me. Hebrews 2:14 and 15 says this: since the children have flesh and blood, he too shared in the humanity, that by his death he might break the power of him who holds the power of death. Thank God. Thank God that he came as a human, that he didn't come as a God, but he came as a babe in the manger, living life and enduring the things that you have to. He was tempted in every way that you and I are tempted, yet he was without sin. And he done that in his humanness. He never used the power of God. In the wilderness, when he fasted for 40 days, he could have turned the bread or stone into bread. He could have called the angels, but he didn't use those powers, if you will, because he done it in the human strength because of the Holy Spirit dwelling in him. It goes on to say, that is the devil. He is the power of death until Jesus came. And free those who all their lives were held in slavery by the fear of death. When I heard that word, cancer, as a Christian, I started thinking, well, maybe this... I wasn't afraid of death. But I told my friend last night, I still have some things in life I want to see completed. And we shouldn't fear death as Christians. But what about the atheists? What about those who don't know Jesus? I mean, it's been too long, I guess, for me to think if I ever thought about that. But I guess I would have had to, because that's why I came to Jesus. Because I wanted life. And I wanted it abundant. And so I guess then it's what brought me to him. The fear of death. The fear of the unknown. The fear of what my life would be if I didn't accept Jesus Christ. What my death would be if I didn't accept Jesus Christ. So do you seek the living one or do you seek the dead? Have you come to seek Jesus this morning, the living Jesus? I mean, most of you are here Sundays and Wednesdays and so forth and so on, and you're Christian and so forth. But have we come so accustomed and so used to hearing the story that it doesn't excite us anymore? But it shouldn't be just today, amen? It should be joy, joy, joy in my heart each and every day. Because of what Christ done. We want to live life to the fullest. I mean, look, we get bombarded. I mean, commercial after commercial about healthy food and jogging and yoga and et cetera and et cetera, et cetera. People out running the streets and doing their, and Charlie, doing not a marathon, okay? That's what, 25 miles, 26 miles? I mean, come on. There's people out there that practice not for any glory of getting a trophy, but just to keep in shape and to do good and be healthy. Why do we search for fulfillment in emptiness? Why do we seek the living among the dead? My friend, Jesus is not dead. The tomb is not, his remains isn't there. Death could not stop him. Hell could not hold him. And sin could not beat him. Amen. Jesus died so that you could live. That we deserved death, but he took our place so that we could live with him forever. Yeah. His service makes it possible for our lives not to end with death. The old saying, how does it go? Born once, you die twice. Born twice, you die once. Amen. The natural birth and the spiritual birth. If you're born twice, you only have one death unless the Lord comes and gets us first. And as soon as your eyes go from this world into death, you see the Lord Jesus Christ. But if you're born only once, the natural birth, and not a spiritual birth, not only will we see the death that comes to our bodies, but we will see eternal death and damnation that comes from our choice of not accepting Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior. So, my friend, do we seek the living among the dead? He's not there. Jesus is not among the dead. He is here. He is alive. He is living. As we close this service this morning, I want to just play a song. I think I've got it lined up right here, but we're going to prepare for communion at this time. And as this song is playing, if you just want to come and pray and be alone with God for a moment, I ask that you do so during this song. And then we'll get into the part of the service of communion this morning.
What saved my life. Yes, the blood, it is my victory. Oh, what love, no greater love. Grace, how can it be that in my sin, yes, even then, He shed His blood for me? Oh, the blood of Jesus washes me. Yes, the blood, it is my victory.
Thank God for His blood. Amen. It is our victory. The Lord Himself ordained His holy sacrament. He commanded His disciples to partake of the bread and the wine, emblems of His broken body and shed blood. This is His table. The feast is for His people. Let all those who with true repentance forsaken their sins and have believed in Christ unto salvation draw near and take these emblems, and by faith partake of the life of Jesus Christ to our soul's comfort and joy. Let us remember that it is the memorial of the death and the passion of our Lord, and also a token of His coming again. Let us not forget that we are one at the table with the Lord. Father, as we come together once again today to celebrate the life of our Lord Jesus Christ and what He done on the cross for us, we pray, Father, that You would just fill our hearts with love and understanding and a compassion for the things that are around us to be involved in their lives. For Lord, we do this morning in remembrance of how You, in Your passion and death, was made life everlasting for those who would believe in You. We thank You and we praise You. In Christ's name we pray. And amen. Amen. Would you come at this time, and those of you that want to partake in the emblems this morning and receive the juice and break off a piece of the bread for the reminder of the body this morning. we are reminded that in the same night that the Lord was betrayed, that he took bread, and when he was given thanks, he broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, "This is the body given to you for the remembrance of me." Likewise, after supper, he took the cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "This is the cup of the new covenant in my blood, which was poured out for you. Do this whenever you drink in remembrance of me." The body of our Lord Jesus Christ, which was broken for you, preserve you blameless unto everlasting life. Take and eat this in remembrance that Christ died for you. The blood of our Lord Jesus Christ, which was shed for you, preserve you blameless unto everlasting life. Drink this in remembrance that Christ's blood was shed for you, and be thankful. Father, we thank you once again for this day that you've given us to celebrate, particularly for what Christ has done for us. We thank you for these families and loved ones who've gathered in. Pray that you would just bless them and encourage them this Easter Sunday. That, Lord, we might leave here changed people because of what Christ did for us at Calvary. We love you this morning. We praise you. And we say, he is risen. We thank you for that. In Christ's name we pray. And everyone said, amen. Amen. Happy Easter to each and every one of you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. And may we celebrate the risen Savior, not only today, but each and every day of our lives. God bless you. Happy Easter.
Thank you.